Welcome to this lecture on the principle of immunology. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of the adaptive immune system. If your body is a fortress, this system is your elite special forces unit. We will explore how B cells and T cells defend us, and even look at the mathematical equations that explain how they multiply to defeat infections. Let us get started. To understand how this system works, let us first picture a highly advanced security system in a massive city. While your innate immunity acts like the regular police force, handling common, everyday threats, the adaptive immune system is the special intelligence unit. They are called in when a highly organized, unrecognizable gang of intruders invades the body. Instead of attacking blindly, this elite unit studies the specific intruder. They take their time to design custom-made, highly targeted weapons to neutralize the threat. This precision is what makes adaptive immunity so incredibly powerful and essential for our survival against complex diseases. Now that we understand the role of this elite unit, let us meet its weapons manufacturers, the B cells. B lymphocytes, or B cells, are the core cellular component responsible for humoral immunity. They originate and mature in the bone marrow before moving to organs like the spleen. When a B cell encounters its specific matching antigen, it activates and transforms into two types of cells. Plasma cells become biological factories, pumping out massive volumes of antibodies, while memory B cells stay in your body for years, providing long-lasting immunity. This defense happens in the bodily fluids, historically called the humors, which is why we call it humoral immunity. These B cells would be useless without their primary weapons, which brings us to the critical role of antibodies. Without B cells and the antibodies they produce, our bodies would be completely defenseless against extracellular pathogens, such as circulating bacteria and free-floating viruses. Antibodies are absolutely essential because they bind directly to pathogens. This binding neutralizes the pathogen's ability to infect healthy cells and tags it for immediate destruction by other immune cells. This targeted tagging system is the exact mechanism that makes vaccines work, allowing us to survive diseases that would otherwise be fatal. If this system fails, even a common cold could become a life-threatening event. While B cells handle threats in the fluids, we need a different strategy for hidden invaders, which is where T cells come in. If B cells are the weapons manufacturers, shooting from a distance, T cells are the elite hand-to-hand combat specialists and battlefield commanders. Sometimes, a sneaky virus hides inside your own body's cells, where floating antibodies cannot reach them. T cells are specifically trained to inspect your own cells, identify the infected ones, and eliminate them directly. They originate in the bone marrow, but migrate to the thymus gland to mature, which is why they are called T cells. This direct cell-to-cell combat is known as cell-mediated immunity. To execute this cell-mediated immunity effectively, the T-cell forces are divided into two specialized divisions. There are two main types of T-cells you must know. First, cytotoxic T-cells, which directly kill infected or cancerous cells. Second, helper T-cells, which act as battlefield coordinators by releasing chemical signals called cytokines. These cytokines activate B cells, cytotoxic T cells, and macrophages to mount a unified attack. Helper T cells are so important, they are considered the master conductors of the immune orchestra. We see their vital importance in diseases like HIV, which specifically destroys helper T cells, causing the entire immune system to collapse. Understanding these specialized cells leads us to a massive logistical problem. How does a single cell fight millions of invaders? When a specific B cell or T cell first recognizes an invader, it is initially just a single cell, standing against millions of rapidly dividing pathogens. To fight back effectively, this single cell must rapidly clone itself to build a massive army in a very short amount of time. This biological process is called clonal expansion. It behaves exactly like compound interest in a bank account, growing exponentially. By understanding the math behind this rapid multiplication, we can predict exactly how long it will take for the immune system to mount a successful defense. To predict this army's growth, we rely on a specific mathematical formula. This formula comes from the biological reality of cell division, where one cell becomes two, two become four, and so on. Let us break down the symbols. N of T represents the total number of specific immune cells present at a given time t. N0 is the initial number of naive cells that recognize the antigen, usually a very small number. The variable t is the total time elapsed since activation, measured in hours or days. Finally, d represents the doubling time, which is how long it takes for one cell to divide. If the doubling time decreases, meaning cells divide faster, the total population explodes much more rapidly. Now that we have our formula, let us see this with a concrete example involving cytotoxic T cells. Suppose a viral infection activates a small starting population of just 10 specific cytotoxic T cells. We are given that their doubling time is 12 hours, and we want to find the total population after 120 hours, which is 5 days. First, we find the number of division cycles by dividing the total time by the doubling time, giving us 10 complete generations. We plug these into our formula, giving us 10 times 2 to the power of 10. 2 to the 10th power is 1024. Multiplying this by our initial 10 cells gives a final answer of 10,240 specific T cells. Physically, this shows how a tiny initial group becomes a formidable army in just 5 days. Now that we have used this formula, let us understand where its mathematical structure actually comes from. This chunk of proof establishes why we use a base of 2 in our exponential equation. We start by defining the number of division cycles as the total time divided by the doubling time. The mathematical reasoning here perfectly mirrors the biological reality of cellular mitosis. During the first cycle, one parent cell splits into exactly 2 identical daughter cells. In the second cycle, those 2 cells split to become 4, which is 2 squared. By the time we reach an arbitrary number of cycles, the population has scaled by a factor of 2 to the power of those cycles. This intuition shows that the formula is not just abstract math, it is a direct translation of biological cloning into algebra. Having proven why the formula works, let us apply it to a secondary immune response, like after a vaccination. During a secondary response, memory B cells activate much faster. We are given a larger initial population of 500 memory B cells and a rapid doubling time of just 8 hours. We want to find the population after 48 hours. First, we divide 48 by 8 to find that 6 complete rounds of division occur. We substitute these values into our equation, giving us 500 times 2 to the 6th power. 2 to the 6th is 64. Multiplying 64 by our initial 500 cells yields a massive final answer of 32,000 active B cells. This beautifully illustrates why vaccines are so effective. Starting with more cells and a faster doubling time generates an overwhelming response in just 2 days. To truly appreciate the scale of this mathematics, let us look at a visual representation of this growth. Here you are seeing a graph that plots the number of immune cells against time in days. Notice that the vertical axis is on a logarithmic scale, meaning each tick mark represents a tenfold increase. The curve starts at the bottom left with a tiny initial population of naive cells. As time progresses along the horizontal axis, the curve shoots upward dramatically. This steep section represents the exponential proliferation we just calculated. The small cell icons multiplying along the curve show how one cell becomes an entire army. Finally, at the peak, we reach the effector cells, which is the massive population required to successfully clear the pathogen from the body. As we wrap up our exploration, let us review the most critical concepts we have covered. First, remember that B lymphocytes are the masters of humoral immunity, manufacturing targeted antibodies to neutralize threats in your bodily fluids. Second, T lymphocytes drive cell-mediated immunity, acting as commanders and directly destroying infected cells. Third, we saw the mathematical power of clonal expansion, where a tiny number of specific cells rapidly multiply into a massive army using exponential growth. Together, these components create a precise, powerful, and memorable defense system. You have now mastered the core principles of the adaptive immune system and the math that drives it. Great job!